Club in Casa Grande, Arizona with NASA this weekend. This will be my first time back at this track since I went with the wide body. So what do you think my lap times are going to be like? We'll see. So as usual, let me show you the changes I made to the car from the last time I went out, and then we're going to the track. Up first are these dive planes from Vimmerworld, which I had on my car previously. I'm now trimming them to fit with the wide body, so now they're more like partial dive planes. We'll see how they work. Next up are rear brake lines from Rally Road. These are specific to the brake swap I have, which are Porsche 996 calipers on the E36, which is a common swap. The problem is the brake lines have to take a hard 90 to miss the shock when they come out. So the Rally Road ones have a hard 90 fitting right at the end, so they fit perfectly. Last up is some safety gear. I've never been a fan of wearing gloves my whole life riding bikes, but I'm gonna give them a shot. And the shoes with my stock pedal cluster, these are a lot narrower than I'm used to, so I missed my heel-toe rev matching a couple times and messed up, but I'm gonna try to start using these. A refresh on my diff fluid. A refresh on my trans fluid. Refresh my brake fluid. Sand the surface of my brake pads. And an oil change, and we're ready for the track. All right, I'm here at Podium Club a day early. I get to have one day of private track time to do some testing and driving. So the first thing I'm going to be trying to change is my brake bias. It's hard to see what I'm doing here, but I'm turning the brake proportioning valve knob. This valve decreases or increases line pressure to the rear brakes. Here's a picture of that valve so you can get a better idea of what it looks like. And here's the new safety gear, getting ready to go out and try the new brake settings. So it's pretty interesting what I found out. I changed the brake bias to almost full strength in the rear, and what I'm finding is I can carry more trail braking, and that puts pressure on the front tires and I can get a little bit more steering out of it. I thought with more brake bias to the rear I'd have an e-brake effect and maybe want to loop out. Trail braking is when you carry your braking into the turn instead of doing it all in the straight portion of the track. So there's one thing where you can think of setup changes in your head or on paper, but then it might differ from what you actually try on the track. So there you go. Friday practice left me wanting new race takeoff tires, so I headed to my friend Nick's late at night where we have a tire machine we split together, and we struggled putting these tires on this time. I think the cold temperatures were the difference. I didn't get much sleep for Saturday. So I had 3 days of tracking and I had one off. I'd like to blame this on my brake experimentation, but it was all me. And here's the turn where it happened. This is one of the lowest speed turns on the track. I have to just give in, slow down, and get a good exit, but it feels like I'm giving up so much time when I do that. And here I go, gently flying off the track. And it all comes down to this. This is my flying lap for the weekend. The best time I could do with this car when it was normal bodied was mid 136s. I'm crossing the line right now and my lap begins. Podium Club, I was able to stay in the 134s every time I ran, so that's a great starting point for being back in this track. I'm back here in 2 weeks for another 3-day weekend, so I'm going to try to get in the 133s.